Okay, so the next question is about the higher dimensional beings. And this question is it's in Spanish, but we're going to make this video in English. And it says that if the higher dimensional beings is actually ourselves in a different dimension. Well, yes, and for this I can share a story. When, as you know, I talk to the Syrians more than others. So the Syrians, for example, there's a famous story about a tribe in Africa called the Dogons. And this tribe was in contact with some beings from Sirius B more specifically. So these beings are the same beings that I talked to. So I asked them, how is it possible that I cannot see them physically, the Syrians, it's them from Sirius B, but the Dogons in the tribe in Africa, they were able to see them physically. So I asked the Syrians, like, why I cannot see them, why they don't come to me physically, but they did it with the Dogons. They told me that the Dogons they didn't come to the Dogons as physical, but the Dogons perceive them as physical. So it's all about perception. So the idea is that I was not able to see anything because I knew that they didn't have a body. But the Dogons created an idea for themselves about how they look like, and they describe them actually as aquatic beings, and that's something very similar how they used to look like in the past. So yes, since the time behaves differently in many places, the the Dogon, the tribe in Africa, contact these beings, which are the same that I'm talking to, but those beings in Africa are not are the ones that I'm talking now. For for them, they have been evolving so much because the tribe in Africa met them like a few years ago, but from their perspective, they have experienced so many years that they have evolved so much. So yeah, so the same way these beings were the same that for us were a few years ago here, they they were the same ones, but it's just that from our perspective of time, they are not the same. They are the same ones. It's just that it might not make sense for us that in a short time from our perspective is the same beings that evolve so much in a short time. Something that I have noticed, and they also said it, is that several higher dimensional beings, when you're talking to them, in order for them to answer, they they kind of connect themselves to another version of themselves from a different time that is able to provide a better answer for you. So for example, let's say that we ask the Syrians or any other being how it is to live in a specific planet. And they are not there right now, but at some point they were there. So they kind of connect to that version of themselves in that when they were in that place. And that version of them is giving the answers because he can provide a much better answer than the one that you're talking to who are in a different place. And about this topic, there is something interesting that I heard, but it's not it's more related to not only these beings that we are, because the question is, are these higher dimensional beings the same as us? It could be. It also depends what is the idea of us. But anyway, there is something interesting that it might actually help us to understand what it's what can be us as well in a different experience. So for example, it's very common that in other worlds, there when you want to learn something, let's say I heard stories of some beings who come to specific gurus in outside the planet, and these gurus sometimes the answer is not with voice. They actually allow them to experience something specific so they can get the answer themselves. For example, let's say that there's a person coming to a guru from another planet, and the guru doesn't answer. They just allow them in one instant to have a life as let's say as an insect. For example, Let's say that the person is asking how it feels like to live one life in a specific way or learn compassion or learn something specific. And the answer from the guru is, it doesn't say anything, it just allow them to experience a life as an insect. And this insect is allowing the person to experience something that will answer the question they have. And that insect can be living in the same time as us. So in other words, one insect that you want to kill, it could be yourself experiencing something that you asked in a different reality. So that person who was in front of the guru, it could be ourselves, just a different time. And just because, but that time is also ourselves. Let's say that another reincarnation, let's call it like this, and that person is having an experience as an insect at the same reality as us, but it's ourselves. So that's why many times the higher dimensional being said is that don't kill the animals, it could be yourself. But I never saw it that way. But until they explained to me that it could be you trying to learn a lesson from a different, not you, me here wanted to experience that, but another version of me in the future wanted to experience that, and the best opportunity to experience that was coming to the past and have it an experience in the same reality where I am right now. So you see, the time can be a little bit um, confusing, let's say, but it just behaves differently. But anyway, yes, it could be. It depends really, because at the end we all are the same consciousness. But if you want to divide it into the different subconsciousnesses, then it depends on how we divide ourselves and define if that person is really us or not. But yeah, in reality, at the end, yes, all of us is the same as them as anybody else. So anyway, I'll try to answer this a little bit faster because the last question took me much longer time. But anyway, if I'm missing something or if it's not clear enough or you want me to give more context, please let me know in the comments. And also, all this information is in the books. So if you want to get the books, you will find everything there. These videos are just complementary to the books. So I hope you can get, if you want to get more information, you will find it for sure in the book with much more context. But if you want me to provide more context or a different question, or if you want me to react to a specific video or just analyze it from my point of view, just let me know in the comments. And this is a very good way to interact with my friends. You are my friends. Okay, so see you in the next video.